Hello, and welcome to another video. And today I'm going to be doing a 2018 Senate election prediction if Hillary Clinton was president. So I'm going to start off with all of the easily safe states. North Dakota and Texas would be safe. I think that Ted Cruz would be able to get a lot of Republican vote out. And in North Dakota, the Trump vote would get out really higher. And Heidi Heitkamp will be very unpopular. She'd be considered very establishment. There would be probably no Kavanaugh, but still Heidi Heitkamp would be very perceived as an establishment, and it would go safely. And like in the safe Democratic states, California, Hawaii, Minnesota, no, I don't think Minnesota would be safe. Same thing for Massachusetts, Rhode Island, Delaware, Maryland could be safe. New York and Vermont. So 30 Democrats and 49 Republicans. Now we have Nevada, Missouri, Tennessee as all as likely states. I think they would only be likely states since I don't even think the Clara McCaskill would run again. She would work on the Clinton campaign and on the Clinton administration. She did it in the Clinton campaign. And I think she would be pretty popular. I mean, nobody else would be able to run a good campaign there, except for her. Nevada, Dean Heller would totally win here. In Tennessee, Marsha Blackburn would get a lot of the women vote out. And Phil Bredesen would be perceived as an establishment, and a lot of Trump voters in Tennessee would come out to vote for Marsha Blackburn. And now the Democratic likely states. Washington, I could see as a likely state. I could see Connecticut as a likely state. I don't even think I think that Massachusetts would narrow and be like a leaning state in this scenario. But Maine, it's pretty obvious. New Mexico would narrow, but Minnesota, pretty likely. Same thing with Michigan, Pennsylvania. But that's it for the likely states. The leaning Democratic states. Well, the leaning Republican states, I think Arizona will be leaning. Hillary Clinton would be very unpopular in Arizona. She would be pretty unpopular around the whole country. It would be a red wave after 12 years of, in this scenario, 10 years of a Democratic president. They would really want the supermajority, and I think they could get one. I think that Florida would be leaning because Bill Nelson is currently leaning by a lot, and it would take a lot of voters to make this into a leaning state. So I think that it would be a leaning for now. Since Hillary Clinton, and Hillary Clinton's best pathway would just be taking the Rust Belt, and that would be it. If that's what happened, then Florida would totally go for Rick Scott. Same thing for Indiana. Joe Donnelly would be, everybody would put Blue Dog Democrats as establishment, and I think that they would win. And I think that in this scenario, leaning states, Massachusetts would lean, and New Mexico would lean, but that's pretty much it. The last three. I think that all of these three would tilt, and these two would tilt. So Montana, very Republican, and Ohio would also be very Republican. They would really like establishment candidates for them. Joe Manchin would not be popular because there would be no Kavanaugh, and Republicans would campaign here. Virginia, no Tim Kaine, and Tim Kaine would be unpopular here as he is the vice president. And he's tied to the Clinton administration. There would be a Virginian Republican wave. And Bob Menendez would be super unpopular, more unpopular, and he would probably win there. So, this would be the map. Now the governors map. I would give a safe states pretty much all the Midwest. is safe. All of the southern states like would be safe. Even well, not Alaska. No, I actually think that Alaska can become safe in this scenario. And in safe Republican state and Democratic states, not even California, that's kind of sad. But Hawaii would be safe. I don't think that anything else is safe. And in likely states, I think Georgia would be pretty likely in this scenario. I'll just move South Dakota to likely because it's a toss-up right now. And I don't see it going from toss-up all the way to safe. I also see some other safe states with Vermont, New Hampshire, Massachusetts, and Maryland. In this scenario, Maine would be pretty likely. And Nevada would be likely, putting the majority for the Republicans. And then there would be likely Democratic states, which would be California, New York. I think that's pretty much it. And it would be leaning states too. I think that a leaning Republican state would probably be Iowa. Iowa would become a Republican leaning state, same thing with Ohio. I also think that Pennsylvania would lean. Tom Wolf is still popular and he's leading in polling. Not enough to make this a Democratic state. And in Minnesota, if you look in Minnesota, Mark Dayton's running and it's pretty close. I think this one would tilt in the Republican column, especially in a Clinton wave. Minnesota would totally hate Clinton, just like Michigan would hate Clinton. This would go really narrow, and there would be a lot of people that would regret it. Trump would be perceived as a better candidate after the election in the midterms, and Scott Walker will also win here by leaning. He would be more of a Trump candidate, and Wisconsin would start liking more Trump's candidates. It would be more, but it still wouldn't be like the party of Trump. It wouldn't be that radical. And I think that Michigan would tilt in the Republican column, giving them currently 32 to 11. I think that Oregon would tilt in the Republican column. Look at that. That's really weird. But it would tilt if this happened. Trump only lost here by 10%, and more than 10% really hate this incumbent, who is Kate Brown, and she could totally lose here. It was a tie at some point. Now she's leading by a few percentage points, but anything could happen. And Florida, this would narrowly go to to Ron DeSantis. He would probably win here. I think that he would, honestly. If this happened, the Bernie Sanders type candidates would not be winning here. He wouldn't even win the nomination. I don't think he would, and that's why I think it would be so narrow. In Connecticut and Rhode Island would both of them would tilt. They would have pretty good Republican candidates and unpopular Democratic candidates. So, and I think that with the Clinton smeared on them, they would probably lose. And in New Mexico and Illinois, these would the two incumbents here have the power of the incumbency. Even though they're not that popular, they would use the Clinton factor to their advantage, and I think they'd win. But Colorado, I think this would tilt. John Hickenlooper can't run, but it's not a leaning Democratic state. It could be safe. It can be perceived as a safe state or a likely state, but I think that it actually would tilt since everything else is tilting, and Colorado voters would see the Republican trend. They would probably vote Republican, especially again if John Hickenlooper is endorsing the Colorado governor who's running. It would be kind of bad for them. And this would be what happens: 11 Democrats to 39 Republicans. And in the next elections, Louisiana, North Carolina, Montana, I could see Virginia all flipping. That would be amazing for Republicans. And thank you for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.